Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing the story of an individual who reached out to Reddit after their partner displayed some really alarming and toxic behaviors. Luckily, Reddit was able to help them see the light and the toxicness of the situation. I do hope that you enjoyed this story. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Anyway, onto the story. The other day, I, a 21-year-old female, was baking and my boyfriend, a 22-year-old male, came into the kitchen to hang out with me for a bit. So we're talking and laughing, and at this point, I was basically elbows deep in flour. So when I got a text, I asked him to look at it and reply to it for me. It wasn't anything bad, just my friend asking if I was home and she could come over. I told him to text her yes, she could, and after he did that, he started looking through my phone. When I asked him what he was doing, he said, "I'm looking through your chats, it's no big deal." Sir, this is not how this works. I just felt annoyed that he would use the opportunity to look through my phone, so I asked him why. He just said that he wanted to see what I was up to. Now, I don't have anything to hide, but the reply angered me and made me think that he didn't trust me. Also, the way that he went about it was a little irritating because I asked him to do something and he took advantage of that opportunity. Would I rather he did it secretly, he asked? No. In fact, I'd rather he didn't do it at all. Of course, comes the predictable. If you didn't have anything to hide, then you wouldn't be irate right now. That pissed me off even more. I'm literally kneading furiously at this point and asking him repeatedly to please put my phone down. He refused and went to our bathroom and locked himself in there. I'm not one to do too much, and also I had nothing to hide, so I waited for him to come back from his little expedition and come and answer my questions when he doesn't find anything. It was about 20 minutes when he came back with a goofy smile and dropped the phone back on the counter. I asked him if he found anything and he said no, that maybe I'm just good at hiding, with that same grin. At this point, I'm boiling and I asked him how he felt invading my privacy, and he said that my privacy is his privacy. I tried to explain that I didn't like how he went about it and I don't like that behavior at all, but he was countering, saying that if I wasn't cheating or being dubious, then this shouldn't be a big deal. That if I want to look through his phone too, I'm welcome. I just silently walked away and have been seething for 2 days. He tried to apologize, but he still doubles down on the fact that if I had nothing to hide, I wouldn't be pissed. But I didn't, like, for F's sake. I just don't like my privacy invaded like that. Like, what's so hard to understand? I'm hurt and frustrated because it's the principle that matters. I won't be out here looking through his phone, and if I wanted to, I'd just ask. It's the same here too. If he'd just asked, I'd have let him. He's an amazing, sweet man to me, and I love him with all of my heart, but he gets jealous sometimes, and when I react to it, he tries to push it off like it's no big deal. He says that he trusts me, and he just felt like seeing what I've been up to. Am I looking for tits on an ant here? But I feel like I'm going crazy. What can I do? And then Opie added an edit later on. I'll be speaking to him tonight and laying down clear ground rules. I might have to make an ultimatum if all else fails. I'll update with what happens. I'm honestly really scared and sad and I feel betrayed. I've been with him for a 1.5 years and this is the most hurt I've ever felt by him. I will break up with him if it comes down to it, because above all else, I prioritize myself and my mental health. Firstly, I wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. The responses I got here were so eye-opening, things I never thought of before. I realized that his jealousy wasn't normal. Me being able to quote-unquote handle him when he gets like that was me literally getting used to the cycle of abuse. I had told a commenter that he was cheated on really badly by his ex. People were asking if it was true, and it was. I was the person he came to when it came crashing down, and he has receipts, so I never thought he was lying. We didn't get together till a year after they broke up though, because in that time we had gotten closer and I really felt for him. I feel like being with him while he healed was not a good idea, especially as I'd been so involved with him as a sort of emotional crutch after the fact of his breakup. One way he found out about his ex cheating was by testing her. This should have been a red flag. However, I told him later in our relationship that he should do nothing of the sorts. I will not tolerate it. On the day that I posted, I went to meet up with my friend that's sort of a tech wizard. Interestingly, she's the same friend I asked him to reply to. She combed through my phone, laptop, and iPad and confirmed that there were no bugs or anything cloning or spying through my devices. That was an effing relief. When I got back home, he had made dinner for us, got me my favorite snacks, and really wanted to talk. I was receptive to him and really thought that he had thought about his actions and was ready to apologize properly. But boy, was I wrong. He admitted that he was testing me, playing manipulative games with me. He thought that if he made me scared about finding something out, I would break down and confess. When I didn't, and he didn't find anything on my phone, he started feeling guilty. I asked him why he just didn't come to me if he was having suspicions, and he said that that would have given me an opportunity to lie, and that the way that he went about it was as a surefire way for me to not have any time to cover my tracks. What an a-hole. So why did he keep doubling down? Man, you're gonna have to ask him. He just said that the guilt made him do stupid things, but I didn't believe that. I asked him outright if he was cheating on me. He said no. Taking advice from y'all, I asked him for his phone so that I could look through it, and I did. He sat there with his leg rattling under the table. I think it was nerves. Another red flag to me. I think he deleted some messages because his boys group chat that I know for a fact he always spoke in was not there. And there were gaps in a conversation with a girl he knows I don't like because she had been texting him earlier in our relationship and he had told me not to worry about her. The messages that were there were just regular conversations with occasional trauma dumping from her and vice versa. Things I thought he could only feel comfortable telling me. When I asked about this, he denied having anything scandalous to do with her. That she was just a close friend and if he told me about him talking to her, he knew I'd freak out and break up with him. I just didn't believe him. I had such a nagging feeling. I didn't want to see anymore, so I just dropped the phone and my heart was breaking and breaking and breaking. He showed me that he had booked a flight to Bali for a couple's trip to quote-unquote show me how sorry he was. I was stunned because how can I find something booky on your phone and you confess to testing me and you're still trying to do damage control? Funnily enough, in my head I was imagining scenarios of him taking my passport and leaving me stranded if something happened that he didn't like. I then started to realize that if I could think that he could do something so heinous, he probably would. I told him that he hurt me badly because of his insecurities and he crossed a huge line by infringing on my privacy in such a way, not hearing my no's, and I didn't think that I could continue being with him from that point on. I told him that even if I had nothing to hide, what about the privacy of my friends and the trust they had in me for their issues to not leave my own eyes? Why did he feel okay jeopardizing that for his own fruitless gains? He said that he wasn't thinking about that and just begged me and pleaded and said that he didn't want to lose me, but it made me sick to my stomach how he felt so comfortable manipulating me. I told him he has to work on himself because I'm done trying to navigate his possessiveness and insecurity. After that, I said that he could stay the night on the couch, but I'd like for him to move out tomorrow. He tried to beg and plead some more, but I'm not hearing it. I didn't even have to do an ultimatum because I just wasn't interested in continuing this anymore. How do you claim to love somebody but at every turn question their motives with everybody? Especially when I'd never given him a reason to. It unfortunately got way worse because this morning he confessed, I guess as a last-ditch effort to show me transparency. The irony. Anyway, he confessed that he cheated with a girl once in the early stages of our relationship, and that was the guilt that was eating at him. He tried to lock himself in the bathroom. Another one of his manipulative tactics that I realized he liked to do when something didn't go his way, which is lock himself in a room until I conceded. But I told him that I'd call the police. I've never said that before, and I guess he realized I was serious, so he came out and took some things and went to his brother's. I'm heartbroken. I'm hurt, and I feel like I've lost a part of me. I feel like my whole relationship was a power trip filled with controls and lies. I used to see myself as strong, but thinking back on our relationship, I've realized that the many things I endured just because I felt like I was handling it. One thing though, I am glad I came here, Reddit. You helped me realize that this could have gotten worse, and my life could have been in danger later down the line. If not that, then I'd have been filled with more pain and regret later had this come up or if I'd allowed this to continue. So yeah, this is where we're at now. I'm going to post his stuff to his brother's house, and as for those tickets, I'm going to try and see if I can use them and go with my tech friend as a thank you, so that we could go for a vacation or try travel dancing at a club around there or something. Just to keep my mind off, I guess. Thank you guys so much again. If you have any questions, please ask and I'll try my best to answer. So guys, what did you think about this? Honestly, I have a few thoughts. The first one being that OP's ex really needs to go to therapy, and they really need to sort out whatever emotional trauma that they have going on that's fueling such toxic behaviors. But the second is that I'm strongly of the opinion that the ex-boyfriend cheated on OP more recently than the one that they just admitted to, because that right there was extreme abuse. And the sheer amount of gaslighting that was going on, oh my goodness. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed this story, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're interested in hearing more stories from Reddit with updates, please subscribe.